Cranky Live Sports Talk, where passion meets action.
Hey sports fans, I am Cranky, and this is the Cranky Live Sports Talk, the podcast where we dive deep into the hottest topics, the biggest games, and the most controversial moments in sports.
Whether it's football, basketball, track and field, cricket, or soccer, we've got you covered with expert analysis, insider interviews, and unfiltered opinions.
Join me as I chat with the biggest names in sports, get exclusive insights and stories you won't hear anywhere else.
Cranky Live Sports Talk is where you can hear the real talk, the hard-hitting questions, and the hottest takes.
So, if you're a true sports fanatic, you don't want to miss out, subscribe now to the Cranky Live Sports Talk on YouTube and hit that bell icon to never miss an episode.
Cranky Live Sports Talk, where sports come alive. Subscribe today.
Good evening, good night. Bless up out there in YouTube land. Can you guys hear me? I see Triple E's here. Bless up, Triple E. Trying to get this thing to set up the right way. I'm a little bit rushed today. Can you hear me, Triple E? Let me know if I'm coming through loud and clear. All right, thanks. Appreciate that. It's Monday, people. It's Monday. Let me turn this thing down. It sounds a little bit loud to me anyway. It's Monday. And it's been an interesting weekend. And I really didn't realize my Knicks were playing tonight. That's what I've had the show, actually. So I have to try to triple task, not multitask, because I have a lot of stuff to talk about. I can't say I'm as prepared as I would like to be. But here we go. Drew Ross, bless up. Triple E, bless up. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. And we have to have the same conversation that we have every single time, every single day, every single show, which is that you come into the forum, hit the button. It's important. Hit the like button so others can watch the program. But I have a lot to talk about. Some interesting, some not as interesting. I also have a couple of tickets to give away. If you're able to make the game out of St. Louis, I'll be giving away a couple of tickets, one today and maybe one tomorrow. Not maybe one today and one tomorrow. Triple E said there's nothing like a Hail Mary for his Washington, previous Redskins, now Commanders, with Jaden Daniels playing brilliant ball, who had a Hail Mary to win the game and rub it in the face of, what was it, the Chicago defender who was giving the crowd a hard time and was the one defending that play and didn't do his job. So do your job first, then crow. Do your job, then have fun. That's how it should be, actually. See, I'm wearing this hat. You see what this hat says? It says, always being right is an awesome responsibility. And I believe in that. One of my staff gave it to me. She used to come to my office every day, challenging me in a bunch of different stuff. And before she left to go to law school, is now a very successful lawyer and business person, she gave me this hat, which I appreciated. There's a lot of message inherent in the hat. Oh, yeah, Drew Ross. Yeah, do your job first, then you can crow. Don't crow and then do your job. Even though I think they have those drills, right? They work on those drills in practice. Not to catch the ball, to try to pat the ball down, but don't pat it to someone. Hit the like button to come in, people. I changed the time for today's show to make it put it at 7:00 because I'm moving more and more into prime time. Actually, at some point, it's going to be in prime time, but no, we're not ready for prime time yet. We're making progress, but we're not at prime time level yet. So as soon as we get to prime time numbers in terms of subscribers, we may move the show to prime time, but it's not there yet. But I have a bunch of things to talk about. Trevor, you say humility is important in every second of a game, something to always learn from. Yes, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. Got to be humble. you're going to pay the price at some point and embarrass yourself. So that's what happens. So what do I want to talk about today? I have my list. The first thing, well, we're going to talk EPL roundup. Ten Hag got fired. I didn't talk sports a while ago. It's mad crazy on Talk Sports, and it's all Ten Hag tonight. I'm going to talk a little bit about Ten Hag's record. What's the problem, Man U, since Fergie left? Was Fergie part of the problem? We'll have some discussion. We'll talk about some of the weekend results. Chelsea results, Spurs results, Man U results, Liverpool, Arsenal results. We'll go through some of those. We'll talk some NBA basketball because the season just started and has some interesting aspect to the league so far to date in terms of what's happening, especially with my Knicks. We'll talk some Reggae Boyz, Greenwood. We'll talk about the Bailey interview. You know, I don't do too many Bailey in my program. A little bit about the Reggae Girlz, and maybe a little bit about the JFF, actually. But I'm going to start off with what I've always said. I'm going to start off with every show until I get clarity and transparency. You know, that's my favorite word. Bless up Chris Smith. Bless up Ross Smith. You got to shout out our boy Low, battling out with Ivan Tony Marcus. Yeah, Rob Smith. I get a lot of beating about Rob Smith. In fact, my nemesis isn't like Chris Smith. Rob convinced Chris Smith that Low can play football. Convince Chris Smith. Convince Chris Smith, Rob, because he gave me a hard time about Low. He used to beat me that I don't critique Low enough. And he may be right on that, but I do think Low can play football. Low can play football. Blake can play football. They're probably Jamaica's two best players for the national team, period, in the last number of years. If you think about the totality of the number of caps they have, they both have about 70 caps, right? And what they've contributed to Jamaica football, I think those two should get the acclaim they deserve when they retire from playing for Jamaica, because they have been servants of the game for the country, always put in an effort, and may not always have the outcome that they look for, but you can't fault their efforts, right? Which is important. So my first question is going to be, where's the coach? Yeah, glad to hear that. Not only against Nicaragua, Chris Smith. Nicaragua, he was 27 of 28 in passing. The game he played, he played, remember he made the team of the tournament this last time around, you know, and he only played one half in the Nicaragua game. So just remember that. Played one half in the game, and yeah. This time around, he made it. In the previous day, he's been playing well. And he's not been getting a red card of late either, which is always his problem, right? Even though he will be upset with me for talking about red cards when it comes to him. But he only has 7. He has 7 red cards in his career, and 3 were because of 2 yellows in a game. So yeah, he's in a better place. Robert said, Christmas, good weekend for Jamaicans. Russell, Turgot, Boza, and Chippy got an assist. Yeah, but Chippy came off the bench, didn't he? Crank come on to United business. Let me take off my hat. Yeah, warm me. Let me take off my hat. Hey, Romain, me all in no business. Me not mid on no business tonight. You know, you're nothing yet. Me not start on United yet. Me know you're nothing yet. It's only you're enough. So take off my hat. Chris, me ready for top. Take off the hat. So show the wall on my face. So my first question is, where's the coach? The coach is supposed to be Jamaica's national coach. I heard Bailey says that he speaks to the coach quite a bit. Maybe that's where the coach is, but he has met the coach in person. So got the coach do everything from Zoom, from yard, pure Zoom and phone call him. Him not going nowhere. Or do it from vacation. Coach, you need to be around more, coach. You need to go watch players play. You need to build out your team. You need to study the players and get to know the players. We're not accepting that you do when you come to this. If you come back next time, but you don't know no player, we'll beat you. Let me say that again, coach. If you come back next time, talk about, Marion Gordon told me about Taven Gray. And I haven't seen Romari Williams play, but Marion Gordon told me, no, we'll beat you. Big time this time. You're not getting unbeaten yet. We're not anything that. It's not a retirement job. I know you think it's a retirement job, but it's not a retirement job. So I want to know where you were today, coach, and where you are during the week when you're not, during the window, you're not with the Reggae Boy. And here's another question. Should McClaren be considered for the full-time Man U job? He was only there recently. Should he be in McClaren, in coach? Have you thought about putting your hat in for the Man U job? Because everybody knows I want a Spanish coach, and everybody going for young coaches nowadays. Young, Brighton, Liverpool. If you look at all the teams, young, bright coaches with different methods, right? Yes, and I know about that one Chris Smith, and somebody told me his name yesterday, and I forgot his name. Yes. What really about what drew us? So, coach, you're going for the Man U job. They're giving to Van Nistelrooy, or at least in the interim. I'm sure they're looking forward to put your hat in the ring, coach. We that young Spanish coach. That's what me missed you. I mean, the coach I work part-time, people need a full-time job. Give me no hard time. Jamaica a part-time job, need a full-time job, more money. So yeah. Here's another question, because there's two questions I'm going to ask every show. Bless up, Ramian. Every show, I'm asking two questions. Where is the coach? And where is the post-mortem by the JFF for the under-20? Let me repeat JFF. I'm going to say this every single show. You came out here with the under-14 as they won. Them couldn't even get them trophy yet. Them couldn't even finish the game. Ricketts, I saw you with the coach, with the press, gloating. I ain't gloating. I don't use the word gloating. Happy, ecstatic, and euphoria, and publish this in the papers. You beat a team 7, French Guinea or Guy, or whatever they are. And then when we played in the under-20, we were told by Dennis Chong there'll be a post-mortem that's done, also by Rudolph Speed. When did we finish under-20? Wasn't that August, people? Wasn't the under-20 done in August? Huh? Wasn't the under-20 done in August? We're almost end of October. JFF, where's the post-mortem JFF? You guys think we're some kind of morons. You don't think you have any accountability to us. We'll call you out. We need what happened in the under-20. Ketarek has a question about the under-23s. We don't have it under-23s because normally the expectation would be your national team is fed by more junior teams, which would be the under-20 and under-23s. You don't want any foreign players in the under-20 because you ban all of them. Even though my understanding is the under-17 is a much more holistic team and less politics in the under-17 team because Freddie I run it. We're playing the USA on November 18th and then November 14th. November 14th, Jamaica. And then after the 14th, that's a Thursday. And then the Monday, we're playing in City Park, St. Louis, Missouri. I am thinking about going to the game. I am very frustrated. As I said, I'm giving away two tickets to the game in the US in St. Louis, Missouri. There's a Jamaica section. They're going to have about let me read something. They're going to have about 200 tickets they have on sale for that section. They're trying to have a Jamaica section. I'll make it more so. There's a Jamaica football fans club. So, we have Reggae Boyz community, which is Kyle and his father runs. There's an Irie FM in New York who used to be on 93.5, I think it is. They're now on iHeart Radio on the web. They also have a Jamaica football fans club. So they and the United States Soccer Federation, which is endorsed by the Jamaica Reggae Boyz Supporters Club, has started a new initiative to get fans to support women and men's team on the road in diaspora. So people are trying to organize to get the men's and women's team who play football. I would say in North America, which is probably more Canada and Jamaica, but it's mainly in the US for this at this point in time, but it should be expanded to Canada. But we don't play a lot of games in Canada. So they want to have the diaspora be more involved and attend more games. The game on November 18 against the US is the first attempt to start that movement where fans in the diaspora will be seated in the same location, supporting the national team, both at home and abroad. And they hope that this initiative with a start will be long-lasting, sustainable, and help to mobilize the diaspora community. So they're asking all supporters and fans, as they use the term ultra, to turn up at St. Louis in section 149 in your black, gold, and green. Now, if you look at the configuration of City Park Stadium in St. Louis, which I did look at, I will admit that I'm trying to go. I will also admit I'm going to get beaten for this. I ain't going to be in 149, people. Sorry. Now I'm going to be in section 149. I was online trying to get tickets today, and the problem I run into is all my credit cards were getting declined. Now, don't tell me say me no pay my credit card bill, because I do. My bank keeps contacting me saying, is this fraudulent transaction? Don't ask me why. And I used 2 different cards. And so I didn't get my tickets. And the tickets, when I went back in, they said tickets were sold, which I'm very upset about. Because people seem to have bought the tickets and are reselling them for higher prices, right? And I was buying one of those tickets. When I go to games, I'll admit, my problem is, if I'm not at halfway line, I'm uncomfortable. If I go to Champs, if I'm not in the middle of grandstand, I'm uncomfortable for some reason. I like to see the entirety of what's happening. I got to be higher up. I don't want to be field level. I'm not trying to get a field level. I don't want to be too high up either. So I'm still a little bit pedantic or picky, frankly, in terms of where I'm seated and my ability to see the totality of the field. And the 149 section is to the, if you think the field is like this, it's this side behind the goal. You can't go behind the goal, people. I'm sorry. Yes, when the ball is in front of the goal, you can't see it, but me wear my Jamaica's thing, but me not going 149. But 149 is the section. So I say I have 2 tickets to give away today. No, 1 today and 1 tomorrow. Now the 1 today is going to be a question I'm going to ask. And when you call, well, it's going to be more than 1 question, because people are going to run online and Google. That's what I'm always do. Right? So we got to figure out a way to work around that. So if you call in at some point in the middle of the show, we'll do it. You have, say you have less than 7 seconds to answer the question. So we know if you're Googling. But I'd have to have more than 1 question. So I got to think about a question, because I was given 1 question to ask. By the way, this ticket is not donated by Cranky. I got to it from Reggae. I think it's from Jamaica Football Fans Club and Reggae Boyz Supporters Club. I don't think it's from them. They're the ones providing tickets, and they have over 200 tickets. I think they bought a block of 200 for sale in the 149 section. So if you want tickets, I think there are a lot of YouTubers who have been getting tickets to give out. You can contact them or come to me and I'll get information. Or contact Carl if you have Carl information. All right. And there's a link. I have the link here someplace. Let me drop the link. So you can use this link to go to the website. And if you want ticket, you can buy the tickets. So I'll drop the link. So I just dropped the link. So it pops up for the US Soccer. And that's the section. If you go there, it should take you to where you need to go get them. But I do have a ticket to give away today and 1 for tomorrow. And if you see Balance View there, that's my other channel, actually. So I'm showing it. I'm running this on both channels. Say, Breacher's cranky by missing the party. Tell him, hey, let me do something, Robson. Stop good Breachers from high school. From left high school, I start go Bleachers. In time we go Champs, which means when we go stadium, middle of grandstand, I try to get tickets by the halfway line, which nowadays have become impossible. Before, my friend used to have contacts. You know, this old KC boy thing. And then about 2 years ago, the man talked about said, "Why we don't have them links there anymore?" You know. So then we struggled to get tickets in the place that we wanted tickets. But it is what it is. It is what it is, people. So let's jump to. So we'll come back to that in the middle of the show and try to give away that ticket. I'll run the number below. Let me get to that point. I run the number below. You can call in to try to get that ticket. Should be interesting to see if people actually get the question right. But I'll have to have more than 1 question, actually. I got to figure out how to do that because I want that question to be answered. So, but no, it's not like before in life where you didn't have immediate access to some mechanism to get the information. People, 26 likes, 41 people watching, not good number. And it's a good train of people, not good number. But I'm gonna change up some aspects of this show, right? So before I go into EPL, I'm gonna mix this up a little bit, people. It's not just gonna be sports 24/7. I'm gonna mix this up a little bit. So let me do this. So my favorite. Let me make sure I get this right first. Why start announcing this, and then I'll come back. Then I'll do. You know what? I'm gonna do EPL. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have intermissions between each segment. So the first segment is gonna be EPL roundup. Next will be my Knicks and NBA basketball plus my Knicks, and then we're going to do Reggae Girlz, Reggae Boyz, right? So let's do EPL first, and then I'm going to do some other stuff that I'm doing. We do EPL first, then we do Knicks, then we do the ticket giveaway, and then we do a few more things. Let me try to pull this up. Erik 10. So it was an interesting weekend. You can't read that, can you? I can't even read it either. You know what? Let me take this down and move it someplace else because it's not totally clear. That is a little bit better. I wouldn't say it's a ton better. But Ten Hag obviously has been fired today as Man U manager. The last straw was the loss to West Ham. This is the record to the left, people. 85 matches. He won 44. He drew 14. He lost 27. The goal difference, not that great, to be honest, frankly. Not the greatest, right? Not the greatest. His winning percentage was what? About 52%. I think it was before recently, it was a little bit higher at 55%. I think his winning percentage is probably, since Ferguson left, I think it's second best, actually, if I remember correctly. So I think Ten Hag's problem was, and look, it's all the news. If you go to Talk Sports this evening, that's what everybody's talking about, right? It's Ten Hag. It's him. It's him getting fired. It's unfortunate. Nobody likes to lose their job. We don't like anybody to lose their job. But he really didn't. I don't know. He didn't perform well. The problem he has is that, bless up Erik. Drew Ross saying it's a great weekend for United supporters. And not for the other teams, Drew Ross, because we were hoping as Arsenal to have Ten Hag when we meet you guys not too far from now. But I think the problem that he had, one is his mannerisms, his communication wasn't the greatest. Two is, if you're United with a fan base which are entitled and believe they should always be top four because they have the most money in the English Premier League in terms of commercial revenues, and they believe that they're up there with Barca and Real Madrid. They're better off financially than Barca. Who, by the way, we talk about a little bit busted Real Madrid this weekend. Then they expect to continue to win. But frankly, if you look at output and outcome in terms of trophies, Ten Hag has more trophies than Arteta. And yet Arteta is viewed as one of the best managers in English football. Because there's a difference between a program which is sustainable and seem to be going in the right direction, be sustainable and productive and effective for a long period of time when you project out where the players are, where they're going, versus one where they seem to be in a rut and can't get out of it. It's been 6 managers since Ferguson, who left in 2010. That's the last time they won the league, somewhere around 2010, I think it was. 13, 14 years, and they seem to be going backwards. He spent about 600 million pounds in his time at Man U in a few years. That's a lot of money to be spent when you have nothing to show for it. And if you look at the players he has bought, Martinez, Anthony, Zerke, De Ligt, and they on and on. You can't point out one world-class player. Even Casemiro came in. That wasn't his buy. I think that was Man U buy. What was it, about 70 million? You can't point out one world-class player in their team, which then suggests they're going to be languishing for a while. Because that money's not... They have Sancho they bought for 80-something million. They can't give him away. Gerard saying, when you're a leader, the locker room really doesn't favor you and you're not producing, you have to go. If we was producing, then you take the risk. The problem is you guys bought poorly. You guys bought poorly. You look at the team you have. You have no world-class player in your team. And even the one player in your team who had potential to get up there is Rashford. He's been regressing for years. Right? You have your captain is not a real captain. He's always sulking and whining and crying as if he lost his baby bottle. That's Fernandez. Right? So you're in a bind. I love to hate on Man U. It's the team I hate most. I don't hate Tottenham, because they don't win anything. Man used to win. Tottenham has never won anything. They won the League Cup. They haven't won a cup since, 2011? So worry about Tottenham. People in England get upset about Tottenham. I never worry about Tottenham. They'll always be a non-trophy winning team or barely trying to get there. Even though they perform well, they'll fall out at the end. They'll fall off, like we have done in the last couple of years in the Premier League. But at least we're up there competing. If you look at Arsenal's squad, our players, we can name 4 or 5 players who are world-class or close to world-class. In fact, my entire defensive line is world-class. I'm not including Ben White in that. So my Timber, Calafiori, Gabriel, and Saliba, to me, are all world-class defenders. World-class. Can play across the entire back line. Maybe I think Gabriel can play left back, and I think Saliba can play right back. And Timber can play anywhere, including midfield. And Calafiori, he plays the inverted, he can play anywhere. That's just 4 of the defenders. We didn't talk about Ben White. What you thought joking, Presser? My back 4 is a world-class back 4. And in fact, Liverpool struggled with us with most of them out. There was no Timber on the field when they scored the second goal. There was no Gabriel on the field. There was no Saliba on the field. There was no Calafiori on the field. You think about that. We had none of those players. Timber is a world-class defender. I think Timber is the best right back in the Premier League right now. I don't think you guys have watched Timber play football. Timber played against Man City. Did you hear Doku do anything in that game? He was lost. He played against Salah. Did anybody see Salah until Timber come off in the 75th minute? Salah was not in the game. We can go talk about those game people. We're going to get to the game. Don't get me started. You ain't watched Timber play football. I watched Timber in preseason when he first joined us. The kid is a ridiculous defender. Presser. You just watch him. You just start watching him play football, Presser. Watch the kid play football. And because on a couple of games in the EPL. No. Gabriel is world class. What are you talking about? You guys say what? You know something? I'm going to challenge your guys' football knowledge. I didn't say Ben White is world class or Rice. I said my entire back 4 is world class. Saka is world class, and Odegaard is world class. That's 6. 6 players. Odegaard, Saka, my 4 defenders I just mentioned, those 6 are world-class players. Get into most, if not any team. I can tell you this, my back 4 wouldn't get 4 from Barcelona. Like what happened to Real Madrid this weekend. That ain't happening. In fact, Real could have scored 5, Barca could have scored 4. That happening. We had City with 10 men and they struggled to score against us. What are you guys talking about? You're not watching football. You know something? We're going to have the conversation. People hit the like button. But I jump ahead to EPL because we'll get to that Liverpool game. I'm going to talk Ten Hag a little bit. Now, I think, here's my view on Man U. You can blame Ten Hag all you want to blame Ten Hag. Ten Hag didn't hire himself, people. Let me say this again. Ten Hag didn't hire himself. Ten Hag didn't manage himself in terms of who is he as a boss. The success of an organization, you can always go to the top of the house, and that will give you some idea. Bless up, Chelsea fan. We'll talk about Chelsea too, because I know you guys want to be relevant, and you won this weekend, so we'll talk about you. And by the way, I think Chelsea is going to be very good. I picked them for top 4, by the way. Oh, you asked my opinion. I don't think Declan Rice is world class. Declan Rice to me is an excellent defender. And I mean defender in the normal sense. That's where he started playing football. He has not evolved his game offensively to be world class. He has to be better ball handler to be world class to me. Right? Now, and Ben White, no. Ben White played really well against Liverpool yesterday. In fact, my defense didn't really get tested. We gave up 2 goals, a lucky ricochet header, and when we put on an 18-year-old kid and a left back who can't defend like Trent Alexander-Arnold, you guys got lucky. But anyway, we get to that. Let me just talk about Ten Hag and then move on to EPL. So I do think Man U is going to struggle, people. They have brought in old coach. They brought in player with history. They're just going through, it's a rotation. We got lucky with Arteta in a sense. And Arteta has his deficiencies, by the way, which I will talk about. We got lucky with Arteta. But at the same time, we got somebody who was around someone who's deemed to be the best manager in football and who was very complimentary of Arteta and his ability. And by the way, our 2 last hires, people, were Emery and Arteta. So we select good coaches, good managers. We fired Emery because we're going through a transition. When you come after someone like Wenger, is difficult. Plus, Josh Kroenke wasn't involved then, and his dad was being a remote owner. When Arsenal got full reins of the organization, and when they put Josh Kroenke, who's young, innovative, thoughtful, futuristic, visionary, he hired Arteta and then decided to spend some money. They lend the club a bunch of money, find a way to work around FFP. And Arsenal is one of the clubs right now, even if they don't win anything this year, every year they're going to be competing for a title or for Champions League for the future, unless we lose a bunch of players. And even if we lose players, we're going to replenish them. What's the criteria of football? I think world class is subjective. To me, world class is subjective, right? It all depends on how you want to do it. Are you saying world class is who would get into any team in the world? That to me is world class in a sense. Because you can't say the top 11 because you don't have a differentiating factor or some mechanism or criteria to judge that. Leagues are different, players are different, situations are different. You select a good coach. Just can't. Yeah, my coach has some differentiation, which I'll talk about, Drew Ross. But we haven't won any titles. But Drew Ross, would you prefer to be Man U or Arsenal? If you're a Spurs fan, I want to hear any fan apart from Man City in the Premier League. Would you prefer to be those teams or Arsenal? That's the question. That's where you know if you're in a good place. Arteta is not the guy for Arsenal. No, I don't agree with that. I think what he has to do is have better in-game management, and I'll talk about that. But no, he's a good manager. People hit the like button. 40 likes, 70 people in the chat. This evening is slow, man. Thought there'd be more people in the chat. No, but I think it's a good manager. He knows talent. Players always complimenting his coaching, which is very, very important, right? But I think for Man U, here's the Man U's problem. You bought Sancho for 80 million. You can't give him away. You bought Anthony for 87 million. You can't give him away. You paid about 40 for Martinez. So you probably can get 30, 25 for him. Fernandez is bought a while ago. Rashford is a while ago. But Rashford has a contract which most people can't pay, the PSGs of the world, right? You bought De Ligt, who failed at Juventus, failed at Bayern. Will that work? Don't know. You bought the kid from France. His name eludes me now. Yarrow, I think his name is. He's been injured. All right. I mean, Manu coming through is a good player, but Manu's also slow as a midfielder. He's slow. Doesn't cover it doesn't cover a lot of territory as a midfielder. Good on the ball, good player, plays for England, but look at his game, people. Doesn't recover as quickly defensively. Doesn't have the defensive capability in there. You bought Ugarte, well, jury's still out. You bought Casemiro, past his time. And you paid like 70 and 50. You spend a lot of money. You waste a lot of money on people. Jesus Lord. You can give me that money. I could make better use of it. I could buy you better players. De Ligt has been okay. De Ligt has been okay. He hasn't been that great. I watched him in a few games. He's been okay. People are trying their best to make him feel like De Ligt has been great. Nah. He bought too many players. Xerxes. He bought nice players. If you're a Man U, you don't want nice players. You want players who are going to be exceptional. Yeah, Yarrow may come through, but he's been injured. He got injured in preseason. And when I saw him in preseason, he was okay. But you don't want nice players. You want excellent players. You're Man United. Champions League winner, perennial Champions League winner, perennial Premier League. Well, used to be. Oh, no. I don't know what to tell Man U fans. Can't help you. But let's go to the EPL. Man U fans, you're in trouble. And I must admit, I'm not sorry for you because it's the one team I really don't like that much. Let's do some EPL, and then we'll do one of my things I'm going to be doing on shows going forward. Maybe a comedy, lightening up situation or whatever it entails. But we'll do some things differently. So Everton Fulham, I did watch this game. Good game. 2 good goals. It will be a very good goal. And then the big, tall Portuguese came in late and put that header on the ball and tied it up. And he was so happy because, he's on the bench behind Calvert-Lewin. It's been a long, very, very difficult for him. But good game, decent game. Smith Rowe was very, very good in this game, by the way. See, we even sell players. ESR, for example, looked good. Nelson came on late and looked decent for Fulham. Good game. Man City got a lot of chances, wasn't scoring. My boy Cameron Archer missed again. Cameron Archer got to put the goals away. Very good forward. I thought about that we should probably pursue him for Jamaica, but if he not score a goal, then we're not pursuing. You pursue him, not scoring a goal and come like Anthony. Anyway, I'm gonna get beaten for that. Brighton Wolves. Didn't watch this game actually, but obviously 2-2 is not a bad score for both. Wolves scored late. I was watching the score in this game. Welbeck scored again. I thought Welbeck couldn't walk when he came off stretch of the field last week, but he's back. Ipswich was up 2-0. Brentford came back. It was tied 3-3, and then Brentford nicked it at the end. So our boy Pinnock is a winner again. And then Aston Villa versus Bournemouth. By the way, we had a game on Friday with Leicester where Nottingham Forest won 3-1. It was probably an even game. And my boy Wood, who can't run, who looked like a plodding. Hey, Anthony, why can't you score a goal like Wood does? Man is immobile, but he knows where the goal is. That's what we need from Mikel Antonio. All you guys want to beat me about Antonio. See how Wood, who can't run, can't move, scoring goals? That's what Antonio needs to be doing. Sorry, people. And by the way, people, if you haven't done so already, if you have not done, wait, let me just say something. Let me pull this down. If you haven't done so already, people, please hit the like button, subscribe. That's important. Please subscribe. Let me take this down. So you look at this. And Beaumont, Aston Villa, Bailey had an assist. He came on late. Seems like he's on the bench now. And it's not a good thing, people, when you have two midfielders playing your position, We had Ramsey and what's his name from the Scottish team. His name is eluding me now. Playing both wings. McCann playing both wings. They were the two wingers. Bless up Jerome. And you're supposed to be a designated winger. Not a good look. He's on the bench. Now, I know people will say he was injured, and he probably was injured, but I don't know. Can't have two wingers playing over you. Two midfielders playing in your position. That's not a good look. That means the coach might be losing some kind of confidence. But it was a good game. Thought Villa was the better team in stretches. Rodgers again looked really, really good. So did Ali Watkins. But Bournemouth is a tough team. They beat us, even though we only had 10 men. McGinn, sorry, not McCann. McGinn. But from Scotland, who playing one of the wings. You can't have midfielders who are not wingers, who don't have speed, playing in a position. Not a good look. Not a good look. But good win, good draw, actually, for Bournemouth. I think they struggled throughout the game at a period of time. But they're a good team, and we found that out. BM says, I'm not sure why Reece is holding off for playing for Jamaica. He has zero chance of playing for England. There's no such thing in today's environment of zero chance of playing for your country. I don't agree with you, BM, and here's why. So if Reece get a chance to start at Fulham, and he's scoring goals, and he's playing really well, he has a chance to play for England. You look at the England team in the Euro before the last one. Sancho, Sterling, Rashford. Is any of them in the team now? Nope. Right? Palmer was non-existent, wasn't around. Right? Gordon was at Everton, then moved to Newcastle. Wasn't being considered. Right? Some people think Gordon was overrated. You know, I think Newcastle paid, 40, 50 million for him? So in essence, you never know. If he hits a vein of form, scoring a lot of goals, and giving them that every country, unless you're Jamaica, are trying to cap everybody who is deemed to be decent in their country so they can't play for anybody else, that's contingency plan, then he has a chance to play. So, and it's his prerogative. And here's another thing too, because you guys beat Isaac Hayden when he said this. Because Isaac Hayden says, if I don't really want to play for the country, and then I got to fly 9 hours, then I could be my family, and you guys brushed it off to think, oh, flying 9 hours, what's that? You're playing for your country, blah, 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 whatever. Players have long seasons. And then they got to go come across the ocean to go play for some fans who don't appreciate them and cussing them and telling them they're not good and all sort of stuff. Why take that abuse just to make one World Cup? World Cup is important, it's an imperative, good on the resume. Some players were like, you know what? I'll just try to stay and play for England. If I can't play, I'll just stay at my yard. I ain't got to take the fan abuse. Right? So it's his prerogative. He's still young. He's not, who's Nelson? What, 24, 25? Maybe about 25 now. He's getting up there. He's running out of time, but who knows why? And we also got to be, this is important, people. We don't know the situation with people when it comes to naturalization. Because a number of players who you think could play for Jamaica and maybe could, based on where they descended from, when you go try to check the papers, things are not what you'd hope them to be. Bless up, Jeremy. So we can't make an assumption that because somebody has Jamaican heritage, they can play for Jamaica because they may not have the papers as the way they should. You know, a lot of you Jamaicans go overseas. You go over and assume name, all sort of stuff. And then when it's time to get your grandkids or your kids to be naturalized, it's a problem. Now, Sunday's games were really good. Watched Newcastle Chelsea, really good game. To me, Chelsea was a better team, played really well. I think Chelsea's fallacy or Chelsea's vulnerability resides in their middle of the defense. I don't think what's his name? I messed up his name. Falano or whatever his name is, the French kid, was at Leicester. Was always injured. He and Colwell, I don't know about that combination. Looks cranky to me. Or creaky, I should say. So cranky people find all sorts of excuses when they don't worry, they want to do something. What are you alluding to, Jerome? Fofana, yes. Fofana and Colwell, they look cranky. They look creaky. They look really creaky. I can't wait for us to play them, actually. I think their midfield is excellent. Lavia, Caicedo. Well, I wanted at Arsenal. In fact, I wanted Caicedo instead of Rice. And then they have Palmer playing wherever he wants to play, and he's playing brilliant football. Even though when you see him playing for England, it's a different Palmer, isn't it? Doesn't look that effective. But no, they have a very good midfield. I like Jackson as a forward. I've said that. No people curse Jackson, but he was young. He's young, but Jackson is a complete forward. Misses too many goals, but a complete forward. Hold the ball up. I watch him playing, taking the ball in, making good layoffs. He has speed. He has technique. He can beat a man. He can pass the ball. I think he's a very effective player. And I think that he's going to be very good for Chelsea. And if you notice, the coaches like him because he's starting all the games. He's starting all the games as center forward. And people like, what's his name that came over from Atletico Madrid, he ain't getting much game time. And he was at Chelsea before on loan. He didn't get much game time. So it's really interesting. But I thought they played well. Newcastle, to me, has issues. Gordon was injured, and Barnes didn't play well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their issue is. Isak, to me, didn't play well in that game. I missed a couple chances. So they got to get their team right. Their center of their defense also was very shaky. Right? They have two behemoth persons in there who are not mobile. Chelsea needs another keeper. His distribution, Sanchez's distribution was awful. They need another keeper, and they need two center-halves to me, two world-class center-half. If Chelsea had our defense, I would pick them to win the league. If they had our defense, but then nobody in world football has our defense. So, we have 7 players. If you think about it, Tamiyasu is out. Who else is out? Tommy is out. We have Califiori. We have a bunch of players out. Califiori out. Timbra. So we have a lot of players out and still look decent defensively, even though Liverpool took advantage of what happened with Timber and with Gabriel. Forget about Felix. No, Felix is there. Felix is a good player, but he can't get on the field. And Kungu is a good player and can't get on the field. In fact, I think Kungu could play the 10. But yeah, he's a good player. But yeah. And Felix will get game time eventually. He probably play in League Cup games this week if they're playing this week. Now, the shocker to me was Crystal Palace Spurs. Like, I thought Crystal Palace hadn't won a game all season. I thought they would get roasted. Difficult to play in South London at Crystal Palace, but I thought they would get roasted. And Ketty hasn't scored a goal. It's been almost like a bust already, but it's still early in the season. Less than 10 games. Mateta was coming off the bench. He's now starting a game. But I didn't watch the game, but I was watching the score religiously. I was very surprised at the outcome. Spurs were rolling, scoring goals for fun, rolling Man U. I was shocked about that score, which is interesting. And then West Ham Man U. I was watching this game. So I was watching 2 games at the same time, actually. And I saw West Ham scored, Man U scored. First of all, how Dallo missed that goal is still beyond me. The ball bumped nicely. A little bit high. I should have nicely, but a little bit high. He's got to put that in the net. Dallo got 10 hawk fire, Now, it's going to happen eventually, but Dallo got him fired. Bless up, Mr. Vinci. How you doing? Thanks for joining. Jerome said, that's Spurs being Spurs. Yeah, Spurs were Spursy. But I don't know how they lost that game. The way they play, you think they'd roll against a team like Crystal Palace. But then again, they are a very attacking team, so maybe if you play a low block, it'd be more difficult for them. So, look, West Ham winning that game was interesting, but Man U was a better team to me and should have won the game. Ronaldo, Professor said, Ronaldo told Dallo to miss. It's hard miss. First of all, he beat the keeper, people, and the ball bumped nicely. So take your time to put in the goal, and he didn't. And so at the same time, he missed that goal. I think Ten Hag got fired. So this is Vinci, and Vinci lives in London, people. And Vinci say he was at the game on Sunday at the Emirates, and we should have won in 45 minutes. I don't disagree, Vinci. Here's the problem, Vinci. I don't think Vinci, tell me if I'm wrong on this. What is Trossard doing on the field? Why is Trossard playing? This is the 4th game in a row he has played, but to me, he hasn't done nothing. Why is Trossard playing? He's not a good passer. He's a brilliant goal scorer, but he ain't getting no chance to score. He's not a good passer. He doesn't run the lines well. He works hard on defense, but he's not the best. I don't know why he's playing. And here's what my problem is, Arteta, is, people, before I get into the game. When you're a manager and you're a reactive manager, I am queasy about you. I'm concerned about you. He didn't make any change until we went up 2-2. Then he put on Jesus and put on Nwaneri. Like, what the hell is that about? The team was getting tired. Can't you sense that? It's almost like he's ball watching, catching fever, as we used to call it in the old days, instead of managing the game. Like, I don't understand that. Saka had gotten tired. He hadn't trained all week, right? Played brilliantly in the first half. The only person who don't get tired in football is Martinelli, because he's just like somebody, I want to say what it is, but he just run. So Vinci says, don't get me started on Trossard in the position. Effective, he doesn't have the legs. He's not a 10. How any blind man can see that, Vinci, is beyond me. Like, as you say in IBs, he's an off-the-bench player who comes in, puts a ball in the goal, played 15 minutes and is good, right? Something Sterling hasn't done. And Sterling has disappointed defensively, but not offensively, because he had got the chance offensively to play. He played well in the League Cup game. I think we played, Wigan? But the fact of the matter is, I don't understand why Trossard is playing. And then he gets to play all something the whole game. He gave away the last 2 games. He's the one that made a bad pass that got Saliba sent off. He's the one who gave away the game against City with his. He's always angry about something. And then when he's playing, he's not producing, and he's still playing. And I'm like, is it me just being critical, or is it, what am I missing? So Vinci, you gotta help me, because I am totally confused as to why Trossard always plays. People, please hit the like button. We want other people to watch the program. Totally confused about that, people. Now, in the game itself, I thought we were the better team. In fact, I was shocked that Liverpool looked so ordinary, people. Curtis Jones, who looked exceptional, ordinary. Gravenberg, who I hear about, is the next coming off. Gerrard, ordinary. They were ordinary. I thought we were just much the better team. Saka roasting your brilliant left back, who people tell me about, my Scottish friend, got him roasted on that. Oh, by the way, people, before I go anywhere, I did something. Actually, maybe I can find it. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. I'm a little bit surprised about Liverpool. Seriously, I was disappointed in Liverpool. I was also disappointed in us, because I thought we should have put the game away. And then I was shocked. I thought Gabriel was injury prone. I didn't know Gabriel get injured. That was tough. Timber, we know, has been injury prone since he joined us. Right? Injury prone since he joined us. But people, you see that? I recorded this, people. You see this, people? I recorded this. Boy, man, if I call right in the middle of my soliloquy now. Same thing now. Go on, presser.
Thank you.
Because you're dying for call. You can't help yourself. Go ahead.
No, I have a call before, but I say, make it finish that, the EPL first. Well, I was going to call on the Manchester United segment with Erik, and I'm saying, no, make it just finish that.
So call back in. Let me call you back. Then. Let me finish this. Let me call you back. All right. So people, you see this thing, picture, people? I had to record it. I had to clip it. I had to clip this, people. Hey, wait up, people. I should take more than one picture. When he got rid of him, He tried to get up and he fell down again. This was, I had to show this picture. This picture got to be framed, people. It needs to be framed. Let me blow it up. Framed. And the ball went in the top corner. See this where the ball went? Up here. He put it away. He sent him to the sideline to go get some hot dogs. Fish and chips he went to get. He went to get some fish and chips. So I had to take a picture of this. I thought this was the boy. He cut him. You gotta frame these things. It's like you're gonna have an archive to look at. So I had to take these people. I had to cut it, and I had to blow it up and show it. Embarrassing. But I'm told how good my Scottish friend is. So Saka just did him dirt. Not a good look. Yeah, no, Tony, I had to show that picture actually. And by the way, put your Party and Diaz. No. Here's what you're missing the whole thing. R. Trossard played well. Love Live Barcelona, which gave me a watch. Well, Trossard played. Trossard played no well. Trossard hasn't played well in a while. Still start every game. Yeah, Triple E. Let me say this about Party. First of all, RR, one should take no pleasure in Party getting roasted in one play by Diaz because it's not a right back. That's one play. But here's the thing about that, R&R. Did Diaz do anything in that game? Diaz got pulled off a game, and we can't talk about him traveling across the world because you know what? He ain't traveling nowhere this week. He was fit and ready. He looked order. Party dominated that right back. He got beat once, and White got beat too, by the way. The sideline helped us. Yeah, Saka cooked my boy Robertson the first half. Cooked him. I should show the picture. You know what? This should probably stay up there permanently. We shouldn't be taking this picture down. Yeah, this picture should stay up there for the rest of the evening. It was not. No. R&R. Partey puts him off his game. People, didn't you see that? Partey has these long legs. So when you think you're gone, he stretches them out and throws the ball away from you. We have our CDM people, so his flexibility, playing right back and looking like world class at right back, covering off a dynamic, skillful, quick winger who could get nothing. He showed you how Liverpool was poor. Hey, by the way, people, Salah scored in the game. Timber was on the field for 75 minutes. Did you see Salah in the game? I'm a Liverpool fan. No, Núñez was lost because Gabriel locked him up. I keep telling you people about my defense. Huh? And by the way, Merino had his coming out party, played well. Canardi was brilliant, by the way. Canardi was brilliant, and that's why Martinelli got penned in. Yeah, I think that was a pen too. But you know, that referee who gave the free kick in the last play of the game that we scored. Okay, let's go through the list because I had a list here, people, of things. So this cranky wine time about what happened in that game. So Van Dijk kicked Havertz twice, people. Stamped on him deliberately twice. We're not talking about tackle, we're talking about when the ball wasn't in play, he kicked him twice. Each kick is a red card. So that's 2 red cards right there. Okay? The goal we scored was a legit goal. It wasn't a foul. Kiwior went up. It was not a foul. He got fouled on. So I don't understand that. It looked like referees have an anti-Arsenal bias. And I don't believe in conspiracy theory, but that's ridiculous. The goal we scored was a real goal, and Van Dijk should have got a red card. In fact, he should have got 2 red cards. Yeah, no. Look. I don't blame him for the head of lone wolf because when the ball ricocheted off somebody's head, it's hard to react to it. And he wasn't in the air, and Van Dijk got the jump on him. So I'm not blaming Partey for that. Those are very difficult. The player shouldn't get the head at the front post. That's my philosophy on headers. That shouldn't happen. So I don't blame Partey for that. But Partey played really, really well. He locked up you're locking up a younger, quicker. Partey's about 40, think about Partey at 30, 31. Partey about 40. He's African age. He has the African age. He's about Partey look anything like 30 to you? He came in less than 35, 36. Trust me. Partey's age started out. He was a baby. He was born when he was like 5, 6 years old. So if you have an old man like that playing like that, then really. Odegaard handed the ball that's last year, R&R. Yes, I agree. That was an handball by Odegaard last year. But we scored a goal. It should have been 2 red cards. I don't know. And Vincent said he has a clip on Facebook. Yeah, no, it was ridiculous, actually, people. It was ridiculous. Hey, Kishan, you can call back now. You know I should call you back. But no, I thought Liverpool was poor. People, where was Salah? All you Liverpool fans. Salah was locked up by Timber for the entire game. Now, Martinelli does help. Martinelli is a brilliant defender, by the way. But Salah was locked up in prison, couldn't get out. And as soon as Timber came off with cramps, I hope it's cramps, then Salah found his game. Go ahead, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, couple things, Cranky. Evening.
Yeah.
Couple things, right? In terms of Erik ten Hag leaving, good riddance. You know what I'm saying? Good riddance. You know, for me personally.
Who's this? Is this 433 presser? Is this 50-50? Is this a Man U fan?
Yeah. So, with
wait, one second. You know what? I can't show this. Someone just sent me Van Dijk kicking Havertz. People, go on YouTube and watch this and tell me it's not a red card. Like, that is ludicrous. Seriously. He kicked him twice when there was no ball in sight. Go on YouTube, please. Look at it and come back to me. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, with Erik ten Hag, Cranky, was never so much about the style of play with the team or the lack of winning the results that we needed, right? Because I can accept a team being bad and the team needing time to gel. But you see, when you come out and you start to become delusional in the statements that you start to make, like, as a fan, you start to think that you're dumb yourself, like you don't understand football. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think Erik ten Hag said a lot of things after bad results in which you just question yourself and your sanity in terms of, like, am I this stupid? You know what I'm saying? But I want to point it out, Cranky. I don't think United right now, with the current crop of players that we have, I don't think we're as bad as how we actually look on the field of play. Reason being, we have created some of the most chances in the Premier League, and we have also missed some of the most big chances in the Premier League. And against West Ham, if that's a game where we take our chances in the first half, then we're in cruise control, whether we're like 2-0 up or 3-0 up, because at the time, West Ham, they were not doing anything in that game in terms of laying a glove on us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we've had many games like that throughout the season where we haven't went on to take in our chances. So at the end of the 90, when the opponent wins or it's a draw, it looks bad on the team. You know what I'm saying? So I think that with a manager that comes in, say for example, like Unai Emery, that can come in and galvanize the squad and have some form of decent tactics, I think we can have a side that's good enough to accomplish something this season. You know what I'm saying? Because the season is not done yet. We're just like 9 games in the Premier League season, 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot to play for. I'm not saying that we're going to win the Premier or anything like that, but a player doesn't get bad overnight. As Zerski doesn't come in and just cannot play football like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I don't think the coaching is there. I don't think the coaching was with Erik ten Hag in terms of how he coached some of these players. Because at the end of the day, players have talents, and the onus is on the manager to extract what is there from these players. And if you're not doing that, then you have to leave.
Yeah, look, I think ten Hag. Look, football is a results business. Sports is a results business. If you're not winning at the level, it's not that he's not winning because his winning percentage is about 50%. I think it's about 51.78, whatever it is. But if you're not winning, you gotta go at the level expected of a Man U. And Man U has a view that they're better than they really are, to be honest.
And his signings are bad as well. They haven't really worked out, majority of them so far. You know what I'm saying? However, Cranky, before I leave, come on, Cranky. You have to have a body of work to become world class. Timber and Califlori, they're not at that level as yet. If you give me Saliba, who I think is the best centre back in the world, and they give me Gabriel, who is one of the best, I can tell you that they're world class. Bukayo Saka is world class. Martin Odegaard is world class. But come on, you just get 2 new defenders and all of a sudden they're world class.
So there's some people who can prognosticate the future. They can predict the future, and they see it before you guys see it. So come back, talk to me if he doesn't stay injured in the next 2 years, and just say, Cranky, that hat you showed us about being right is an awesome responsibility. Let me show you the hat again. Can you never see the hat? See the hat? So the hat say, I got this from my staff, because I can prognosticate the future. See the hat there? Trust me.
So they're not world class, no, but in the future.
No, I think they are world class. People just don't know it yet.
All right, so you don't want that.
I think Timber is. Look, You watch Timber play football? He biggest two the best wingers in the world.
Frankie,
They haven't beaten him
wonderful.
one. Wait, has he been skinned once yet? Once, just once. Salah. Has he been skinned once yet between Salah and Doku? Two of the most skillful wingers in football, period. Has he been skinned one? Yes. Wait, no. Answer the question.
No, I don't remember.
In about 150 minutes, because the team came off in 75 about, he has been beaten once. They really touched the ball. Their team don't look out for them. Yeah, you tell me, trust me, we'll see. His passing needs to improve. His passing needs to improve.
World class?
Huh?
Is Cole Palmer world class?
Not yet, no.
But Timber is world class.
Yes.
All right, then. Big up yourself.
Yes, Timber is world class. In my view, is world class. And that's not Arsenal bias anyway. So let me tell you something. There's not a lot of world class players in the world. Okay, let's say you say you need a more body of work for Timber. I can give you that. But what I've seen of him, and I watched him last year in preseason, I watched him this year in preseason, he was our best player. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He was our best player last year in preseason by a mile.
I think you can say he has potential, but come on,
I don't think it's potential is what you can be. I think he's there. But we'll see.
All right, then.
If he's not injured this season, he's gonna be the best right back in the Premier League. In fact, wait. He's not playing right back. He's playing left back. You know why? You know why? Oh, by the way, no. He was playing center half in preseason. You know why?
He's that good.
Oh, okay. All right. Defense rest.
Yeah.
Thank you, 50-50. People go watch Timber play defense. No, not Tim Palmer just started playing football. Timber played that in Holland for a number of years. 17 years old. Go watch Timber play football, people. I think he's our best defender. He can play right back, left center back, right center back. Tommy can do that too, but Tommy is not as effective as Timber. Tommy's a good defender. Timber is a ridiculous defender. Timber passing is not the best. Timber has to improve his passing. But I'm telling you, and he's got skills too. If Timber can stay healthy, people, we'll see. You guys will come back and apologize to me in 2 years. But 2 years is a long time from now. So we'll see. I think he's world class. You will not agree with me. Palmer, this is Palmer's second season. Right? And he's playing brilliant football, by the way. But when I see Palmer playing for England, he just looks ordinary. Did Timber play any football before the EPL, Dr. Dan? Just saying. Did he play any football before the EPL? Did he play any football at all? Did we buy him did we get him from our academy? You guys don't watch Timber play football. Timber is different class, better than any defender Arsenal have, better than Saliba. Yes, I'm saying it. I think Timber is better than Saliba. I know Saliba is not the best defensive football worker. I think Van Dijk is still the best. Good night.
Yeah, can't you big up yourself?
Bless up. How are you doing?
Good man, there, Fatal, you know?
Yeah, man, Fatal. What are you saying?
There, as a Chelsea fan, I watch the team, look at team, I go and match around it. So, just give it, the side is still never yet. We can make a top four still. I think we have it in us. But, time will say, but we should be competing maybe next year, if all is well. Like you mentioned, it's still now. You see, defensively, if we can get two solid centre backs, it's a hard to get anyway. But I'm just saying, if we can get lucky, and a keeper, we have the keeper, so we buy this keeper from the MLS, country there, the one that Jamaica played them from Europe. I forget the country now, but they have a keeper.
Oh, Croatia.
No.
When we played him? When we played him?
Siberia.
Serbia.
Serbia, I'm sorry.
We played with the Japan, yes.
Yeah. They have a keeper, Petrovic. I think his name is. We bought him last year and we put, I don't know, we coach, I guess in the rating, so send him up alone.
Right.
But I think he's the key keeper for us. I've seen him play for us last year. To me, he's better than Sanchez. In our own, you don't know. Sometimes the coach go them preference. Then he might say Sanchez probably better with his feet, but I don't.
Sanchez didn't look great with his feet on the weekend. He was poor actually.
No, that's what I'm saying. Honestly, he cost us in the game with Liverpool. You see the game with Liverpool last week with us?
Yeah.
He had, like those two goals, and goals when could have been even stopped. You know what I mean? But hey, give or take, you have keeper go mess up. There has to be a mistake in that after a goal to score.
True.
But I mean, he's decent enough. He's a good shot stopper, but otherwise, his passing, he's always making those type of mistakes. I'm not really like it. It will cost us, and if Newcastle will get the clinical and the next one, you know, I mean, at one point, but
Right.
after you don't know the game, you have a favor. But Manchester now, he's on peace. Me said, honestly, they were kind of roughly done with that penalty. I don't think that was a penalty.
Right.
But I was just thinking to myself, that, man, he couldn't hold on for penalty for this week, so Chelsea could have just.
So you think Van Nistelrooy is going to be better than Ten Hag?
Oh no, Virgin, come on. By no means I know Chelsea. I don't think so.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know his progress. I don't know his resume that good. I know he's been doing some coaching, but I'm saying nothing to the top level of. I don't think he can be that guy to fix it. You know me?
Right.
And you know, that Manchester United team kind of bigger than just coaching itself. You know what I mean? You need somebody where have a firm and probably even the owners them have a respect to, you know, on a level. But I don't know. But I don't really know about the fix for them around something. You know, but it's good. It's good. It's a good look because all the years of man you really know them to realize and understand how people they suffer. That's it, you know.
Yeah, Man U fans were spoiled for years. They're now in a position where they're becoming insignificant, and they're becoming a team where they've been ordinary for years. People don't they've been ordinary for years. They've been ordinary, and they get more and more ordinary. Think about it. Man City's not going anywhere. They have a sustainable program. It's only going to get better. Liverpool has come back and under Klopp, and they're going to be there for a while with Slot. Chelsea's going to be good for years to come. Like years to come. Chelsea's going to be good. They've got a better keeper and improve their defense. James stay healthy. Difficult team to play. Two dynamic wingers. A center forward who has ability. A great midfield. I say a great midfield, not a good midfield. Going to be a great midfield. They just got to fix the middle of the defense and their keeper, and they'll be in a good place. Hard to beat, difficult to beat, because games are controlled from the middle of the park. So I think Chelsea going to be tough. Arsenal has a $1 billion squad that's only getting better and better. Got to improve offensively, but really good team. So where's their space for Man U? Spurs is a good team, even though they lost to Crystal Palace this weekend. So where's their space for Man U? Man U got to throw out that entire bathwater of players. They just spent over $1 billion something in the last 4 or 5 years. It's hard to give away $1 billion. They did. They're like Barcelona, except Barcelona's an academy, and you see the Gavis of the world and the Pedris of the world all coming through, and the Yamals of the world. Barcelona can go to the academy and pull out some gems. Man U doesn't.
Yep, and as you know, people been ringing it for Chelsea in terms of like, yo, this $1 billion spent. Where is it to show? But like you mentioned, you know, people have got that kind of noise they've been shouting and chanting and chanting at us. It's kind of dimming down and getting more and more quiet. And I think people really seeing that, so them actually look bad now. Them systems that come together, it's coming to fruition. And sometimes it takes time. The thing to me, like with Manchester United, they will spend. They have that. They can spend those type of money if they want because they do it. They go into the $1 billion value, but like I said, the fans, between the fans and the expectations and the history, they are so impatient. They know the fans just reading, and then like I said, them a look around and then see the other top six them arise. In terms of the likes of the Arsenal is back in competition, like serious competition. Man City are reign. Them know say Chelsea kind of done and we kind of farm back into that, possibly going back into contention again. Liverpool basically still there trying to compete. So for them see all of this momentum and I say, what about we? We need to do this stuff, but I don't know what to say to them, but keep on beating. You know what I mean? But it's just a fun skill sometimes to the Manchester United fans. Then just kind of leave them for time, but
they're gonna be crying for a while.
Yep,
they're gonna be crying for a while, a long while. People, Man U fans gonna be crying for a while, and we will be here to give them a handkerchief and to just roast them.
I mean, the game, like I said, I think it was a tough game between you guys and Liverpool. I think you guys should have wrapped up the game too. And similar like us, we also had some tough calls against us when you play them, but I don't say it goes sometimes. I think that is the biggest problem we have with the league, that too much games, the referee them decide how the game win. You know what I mean? In terms of like, make the teams then play to a certain level,
Right.
are be clear across the board. You know what I mean? It's just that too much things sometimes just get too unsolved and done and like that. So, but big up yourselves, you know the thing go.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
Yeah. People, let me just say this. So, now, Boss Thomas says, which number 9 in the world would you like to see in the Arsenal team now? Well, one of 3 forwards. Isak, Sesko, Gukarek. So one playing Portugal, one playing the Premier League, one plays playing Germany. So Benjamin Sesko, Victor, and Isak, those 3, I'll take any one of them. That would round us off. I know Havertz plays decent. I'll admit, I'm not the biggest Havertz fan in terms of being my number 9. I think he can play at 8. I think he can play different positions. He doesn't really have a position in the field. He's a good footballer. But I can tell you this, that if we get one of those center forwards, look out. Now, who had this comment that Duckland, ordinary Man U still won more trophies than Arsenal? Wow. Where's the coach for that trophy winning team, Duckland? Hey, Duckland. It tells you what's important in football. It's not just winning I won't call them insignificant, but the trophy is a point in time. Trophy is not sustainable performance that generates success. Always remember that, right? Especially not the big trophies. If he won the Premier League, if he won the Champions League, he would still be Man U coach, no matter if they're playing bad or not. So to show you what those trophies mean. Yes, Lone Wolf, the officiating, we've been getting some bad calls up. By the way, I think it was Diaz who kicked the ball away. Didn't get a yellow card. Van Dijk kicked Havertz twice. There were so many things in that game where you just shake your head and like, really? Nunez keep running into the back of Gabriel's, kneeing him. That's why Gabriel had come off. That's one of Nunez with bundling, stumbling, kneeing him in the back. So yeah, it was a tough game, but it showed you that we're a good team. Now we were at home, but we were missing players. We're missing our captain. We're missing our best center half, or not best center half, but one of the 2 best center half, I think, or one of the 2 or 3, one of the 4 best center half in football. I think Van Dijk is still the best to me. They didn't do anything. How much key? By the way, you talking about this game. How many saves did Raya make? Now he took the ball out the net twice. Once was a lucky header to me, ricochet header, and the other one was we put on an 18-year-old, and I'm not a big fan of Kiwior, to be honest. And Vince, you can tell me about this. Kiwior to me is not ready for Arsenal. He needs to be sold to Italy. They want him over there. He needs to go. Tomiyasu is always injured, so we need to sell Tommy too. I love Tommy as a player, but he's always injured. Always injured. There are no excuses. We're the better team. We were the better team. We should have won the game. We were the better team. That's not even debatable. The better team didn't win. And I don't think we played great, but we were the better team. Now, I have something to play. Claudia won't like this, but we're at 8 o'clock. In fact, we're past 8 o'clock. So I'm going to change up some of these programming a little bit, people. I'm doing something different. I figured, let me pull this up. Claudia won't like this one. Well, she may like it. Let me not say I like it. It should be interesting, actually, to get the reaction. I probably won't cover the NBA because the Knicks are playing right now. I'm actually trying to multitask here by having them on the screen. Well, let me pull this up, actually. Should be interesting. This is my man. It's my man, Patrice. Let me pull this up. So, people, I like to do things a little bit differently sometimes. You know, this is the intermission. So you go to an NBA show, a game, you go to a soccer game in the US or whatever it is. They have these things that they do. They always have some halftime entertainment. This is your halftime entertainment. I'm gonna give it to you. Let me see if I can find it. I'm gonna give you halftime entertainment. Look at the entertainment. So this is. Do you guys know who this is? Let me see if people in the chat know who this is. You guys know who this is on the screen? Who this person is? You guys know who that person is? Let me know if you know who it is. Don't go on Google and look it up. Cranky, your team is crap. Man U will be in top 4. Liverpool's and oh Lord, please, baby. Vince say Kivior is not bad, but his link-up attack is lacking. Hence, California looks. Yeah. I'm not a big Kivior fan. So, people, do you know who this person is? This is intermission. This is halftime show, people. You have a halftime break. Do you know who this person is? Any of you in the chat? Hey, you guys got to get out more. He's now passed away. But do you know who this person is? No. Does anybody in the chat know who this person is? Really, people? Claudine, if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. He's a stand-up comic, yes. He's my favorite comedian, by the way. So I was reminiscing about my favorite comedian. I've been to see him live quite a bit when he came to New York. Where was it at? 50th and 7th, I think it was, at Comedy Club. So, spoil at the top. What's that about? This is my favorite comedian. His name is Patrice O'Neill. Brilliant comedian. Seen him live a number of times. Very controversial comedian. I figured I'd play something, get myself in trouble. But listen to this. And you Jamaican men, we're going to love this one. Women may not love it, but then a woman can always flip the story, right? Listen to this one.
It hurt his woman, man. That hurts. First of all, think about what cheating is for a second, ladies. Cheating is a man. He sneaks out of his own house to go find some happiness behind your back. So your feelings aren't hurt.
You hear that, people?
It hurt his woman, man. That hurts. First of all, think about what cheating is for a second, ladies. Cheating is a man. He sneaks out of his own house to go find some happiness behind your back. So your feelings aren't hurt. Cheating is for you. It's not for me. We don't want to hurt you. If you give a lie detector test to a man and a woman and ask them the same questions, man, we would pass them both up to a point where it's like, hey, ask a woman, you love your man, you love your family, you love your home, you love what you built. Yep. All right. You see Brad Pitt or Denzel Washington or whatever standing there, would you risk everything you built with your man just to sleep with him? And women, look, they go, nah, I wouldn't. And they don't pass the test. They go, yeah, they look good, but I wouldn't. As guys, the same thing, boom, love your woman, the kids, the house. Yeah. All right, you see that girl passed out behind the dumpster? Would you risk everything for a passed out woman behind a dumpster? Oh, I do, but look at her with garbage on. She looks so cute with garbage on. I'm trying to make it so women just understand a little bit of just to sympathize. It's like we're like sport fishermen. This is what I'm saying. Men like to fish. And sport fishing is different from catching fish for food. You just get it, you catch it, and you show your friends. Because you want them to know that you can catch fish. You take a couple of pictures so you can show people the fish that you have the ability to catch. And then you release it back into the water. But a lot of women in here, you have boyfriends or husbands, you a fish that jump back on the boat and just was flapping, looking at me like, hi, I was wondering if you're going to be fishing here again next week. Yeah, for other fish, get off my boat. That's how you treat all the fish. You're like, oh, damn. Nope, I'm sorry, sweetie. You're the last fish I ever wanted to be with. Now you're stuck.
All right, people. Let me stop it. Let me stop it, people. So I told you he's my favorite comedian. He's hilarious. So, did you guys enjoy the halftime show? Did you guys enjoy the halftime show? It's mean to break up the monotony of sports, people. All right, Claudia. Hey, Claudia, you can always flip the switch, Claudia. You can say, women can treat men the same way too. And egalitarian societies, we're equivalent and XYZ. I just thought we'd have a halftime show that's interesting and funny. It wasn't totally clear on that one, actually. I probably should have recorded it differently. But people go look up Patrice O'Neill. Funny as hell. Died in 2011, I think it was. He had diabetes. He died in his 40s. I went to watch him live like 2009, 2010. He would come to New York, up in the city, and I'd go watch him. I made sure I didn't sit in the front row because he'll roast you. And if you're a woman sitting in the front row, he'll roast you. I try to sit in the middle someplace, not way in the back either, and try to make sure I don't come in late. Because if you're walking in late, you better just walk back out. He was brutal. Brutal comedian, brutal. One of my favorite comedians. Probably my favorite comedian, actually. Because I've seen a number of them, actually, used to come in the city. But no, he's funny. Funny as you know what. So, Claudine, he wasn't funny, Claudine? Claudine, come on. Flip the joke, Claudine. Flip the joke. The man says he wasn't cheating. He's trying to keep peace in the house and make you happy. Make himself happy, make you happy. Anyway, let's go back to sport. Let's go back to sports. I'm not going to do any NBA, people, because we're running out of time. We're not going to do any NBA. You guys go look up Patrice O'Neill on YouTube. There's a lot of different things on there. It's very, very funny. Very, very funny. I'm going to move to more Jamaica stuff. Now, I do have a ticket to give away, but I'm going to give the ticket away tomorrow. I got to work out the program about how I ask the question. I was going to give the ticket away today. I'm going to give one to tomorrow, maybe both tomorrow, actually. But there are 2 tickets. Section 149, City Park Stadium. If you're in the US or if you're Jamaica, you're coming up for the game, I'll give 2 tickets away to sit there. This is going to be, they have about 200 tickets for sale. They're trying to get a Jamaican contingent to sit at the game on November 18th in St. Louis, Missouri. The US, after 1998, the US take us in the bush to go play football. Seriously. Now, if you're from St. Louis, yeah, it's in the bush. They came to DC in Washington, and we filled out that stadium, and they didn't like it. So from then on, they took it to some place where it's going to be a little bit chilly and where they know it's going to be difficult for us to get to. But we're going to the game. I'm probably going to the game. I have to make sure I get my ticket tomorrow, actually. And I'm driving 2 people. So I think I'm driving to Georgia, then to St. Louis. That's like 13 and 9 or 8. That's a lot of driving. But anyway, maybe I'll rent a car versus put miles on my vehicle. But I'll try to get to the game. I'm going to try to get to the game, actually. Maybe I'll broadcast live from the game. Maybe I should try to get... Hey, JFF, can I get a media pass? You know what? Come to think about it. You know what? I'm going to look into that, actually. Can I get a media pass for the game? I got questions. No. Should I ask the coach questions? If I get a media pass, should I ask coach those questions at that game, or do I ask different questions? I like different questions. Those questions are personal. They're internal. The ones that I want to ask the coach. So, hey, JFF, hey, Simon, if you're watching, can I get media pass for the game in St. Louis? I'm planning to go. If you don't get me media pass, we're going to buy my ticket. But I would love to get a media pass to go. Why not? Even though I probably won't be going alone. So I got to figure that out anyway. But people, for that game, as I said, Section 149, there's a Jamaican contingent. They're working with the U.S. Soccer Federation to have Jamaicans at the game. It's sort of behind the goal area, and I sit halfway line. I don't sit behind the goal, so I won't get any more. No, I want to do get the tickets out the right way. And the problem I'm facing with this is that I don't want to ask one question and then the person who's going to call in afterwards here. I want to have different questions, like 4 or 5 questions, one for each caller. So I will come with the questions tomorrow. I have 2, but I want to have 4 or 5. So if somebody don't get the answer, then we keep rotating it, right? But I have 2 questions to give away. The game is keeping in St. Louis, Missouri. It's at the City Park Stadium. It's not a really big stadium, actually. I was looking at it, but it looks like there's good seats most places, actually. But I'm going to give the tickets away tomorrow. I did get 2 of them, and I have them with me, but I'll give them away tomorrow. And by the way, Carl gave me the tickets, and they're coming from the Jamaica Football Fan Club and Reggae Boyz community. How am I saying that wrong? Carl will kill me if I don't say that right, actually. It was the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club and the Jamaica Football Fans Club. And Jamaica Football Fans is a new one started by IRI FM actually, which is as mentioned in the previous promo I mentioned. They're trying to bring the diaspora together and get us to go to more games and support the football team, right? Having said this, I'll say this to the players. You also have to be friendly to the fans when they come. Not saying you are not. We got to make sure you embrace the fans. You want them to come out to see you. Make sure you're acting like, you know what, they're good stakeholders and you want them. I meant to meet a pass if you actually requested. Yeah. No, I'm not actually requesting, but I won't ask those questions. I won't ask him where he is when he's not at the game. But I'm gonna see if I can get a media pass. I don't think I'll get one, but I'm gonna buy my tickets anyway, regardless. I am gonna buy my tickets anyway. So if I don't get a media pass, it's all good. I can live with that. So let's go to Jamaica football. And first I'll start up with, I do have the maybe if you guys want to hear the Bailey interview, I want to play something that has already been played numerous times. You guys can hear it. So let me know if you want to hear the Bailey interview. I have some perspective on it. The one that he gave with Sky Sports, actually. I did have it here someplace. See if you want to, and I did put it together. So if you want to hear it, let me know. And then secondly, the Reggae Girlz played France. I watched the game, quite a bit of the game. We need a lot of work, to be honest. We need a lot of work. I don't think France is a world-class team. There are Jamaicans everywhere, Dr. Don. There are Jamaicans in St. Louis. I have a friend of mine who lives in Missouri. Well, he lives in Kansas. He says 5.5 hours away. He's driving to the game, so I'm hoping to see him. I was in the military with him, so I did link him today. Hopefully I see him and then we can all link up. I haven't seen him in, Jesus, forever. Gotta be 20-something years, probably longer, actually. But I'm going to link up with him. Hopefully he comes to the game. He says he's going to try to get down there. I think it's an opportunity for a lot of Jamaicans to go to the game. So I'm going to play the Bailey interview. But this is about the girls. So I have a question, people. I'm always going to be causing controversy, But that's okay. It's going to be part of my name, actually. I have a question, people. So I watched Jamaica play. Spence, the midfielder, didn't play. I think she got injured in training. So she's probably the best outfield player apart from Bunny Shaw. Bunny Shaw wasn't there. Dr. Don says there are two different places. I was in Kansas for 2 months and I didn't find any. Okay. No, there are Jamaicans in Kansas. There are Jamaicans in St. Louis. There are Jamaicans everywhere. There's a bunch of Jamaicans in Ohio. Ton of them in Ohio. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Tons, as you know, in down south, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. I'm people in Tennessee. They're everywhere. They're spread out. I hope Maron Gordon called Ravel too. I hope he calls him. But I have a question, people. So the coach, what's his name for the girls team? Bugsby? He said Bunny Shaw couldn't get to the game because she has some passport issues. And I was like, really? What kind of passport issues could she have? That doesn't make any sense to me. Didn't her team play Austrian team in Australia the other day? How she got there? Because England is not part of the Euro anymore, so they probably need their passport to travel. I don't know if they have an exemption. But why wouldn't she be able to get to the game? And it's right across the border in France. Why? I'm confused. I don't understand the passport because she has to travel throughout Europe, right? When they're going to play Balkan Champions League, when they're playing in France. So I found that really curious, actually. I don't want to be skeptical and cynical to say it's an excuse, but I'm not sure I'm buying the passport issue. I'm sorry. Not buying it. Not buying it. Oh, visa issues. Okay. Yeah, but if you have visa issues, how you go to Denmark? I don't understand that. How you going to have visa issue in the UK? You got to travel throughout Europe to go play games. So how you going to have visa issues? You need different visa to go to the rest of Europe than you do to France? Is France part of the EU? I'm totally confused. But anyway, that's me and my skeptical sense. Doesn't make sense to me, but I don't know. I don't know. Don't know. Oh, she did? I thought she was on the bench. I saw her name on the bench, so maybe I'm wrong. Said you missed the game because she was on the bench. I was wondering why she was on the bench anyway. What that even mean, but doesn't make any sense. But anyway, hopefully she gets her. I think they need her, actually. She's a need, not a want. So, all right. So I'm going to try to pull up Bailey's interview with
William, plenty to smile about right now. I mean, last season was strong. Would you say?
I pull up the wrong one, people. I'm gonna get copyright issues here. That's not what I'm going to pull up. I put up the wrong one. It's the same interview, but I put up the wrong one. Let me try to find the right one. It's not good, people. Cranky, you cannot do that. Put up the wrong interview. And I don't know where the one I have is, actually. Let me see if this is it. Okay, this is better.
Well, Leon, plenty to smile about right now. I mean, last season was strong. Would you say this season Villa are an even stronger outfit?
Yeah, definitely. I think we had an amazing season last season, and you know, this season we just knew that we have to build on what we did last season, and we can't go back in the past. We already done that. It's a new season, and you know, there's new goals, new things to look forward to, and I think we have a very good start, probably better than last season, and this is the goal for us, you know, and it's a long way, but we're taking everything one step at a time.
A lot has been said about the impact of Unai Emery. What makes him so special? You're working with him day in, day out. What's the secret to how he's transformed this club?
He has transformed this club massively. I was here before he came in, and the club wasn't nowhere near what it is today, and he's done a lot of amazing work. Not just him, but you know, the whole staff that came in with him as well, and I think they all work together so well, and they have a solid plan, and everybody's playing their role, and everybody's, you know, trying to be understanding as well with the players, and it's working, and you know, we're grateful to be able to have him here, you know, improving us as players as well, and you know, definitely the club, improving the club as well, and so far it's been good.
And he's got a huge experience, hasn't he, with European football as well. How much has that helped in terms of the transition into Champions League football? Because you're certainly coping with both the Champions League and Premier League. It's not troubled you at all.
No, definitely not. But you know, this is what we want. This is what we want to be able to do as professionals. We want to be playing at the highest level. You know, playing in the Champions League all the time. We want to. This is our goal. This is our dreams that we had from we were kids, and now we're living that dream. And it's an amazing feeling, and to be able to do it with the way we're doing it, it's remarkable.
How much confidence do you take looking at that Champions League group, seeing yourselves right at the very top? Do you think you've proved that you truly belong amongst those established big teams?
I think people see that we belong, because I'm not going to say, you know, here we belong there, because obviously, you know, as a club that's building, you never want to, you know, put your head above the water too much, but you know, you have to also take a lot of confidence from these type of things, and you know, appreciate the fact that your hard work is paying off, and you know, you're also making not just your family proud, but the fans, the people who work hard to be able to come to every single game, you know, whether it's people in wheelchairs or whatever. It's just an amazing feeling right now to be a Villa fan, and I think that's something that everyone should be grateful for, and just enjoy the moment. And you know, we as the players just try to enjoy the moment as well with the fans, and you know, just continue on the journey that we all want to accomplish.
It's not all been positive for you this season. You had your injury. How much has that set you back? Do you think you're kind of at your best yet?
I'm definitely not at my best. I don't even think I'm close. But you know, this is football, and you know, that's why we come in and we have to work. You have your good moments, you have bad moments, but we're professionals, and I've been in the game for a long time to be able to know and understand that whenever it's not your moment, the only thing you're able to do is control is, you know, yourself, how hard you're willing to work to get back to that level. And it's just gonna come down to working hard every day, trying to get back to where you want to be, and it will happen. Once you work hard, your result will come, and definitely I'll get back to where I need to be and have you know, amazing teammates that's also, you know, pushing me, helping me, and being there for me. And so am I, even being there for them. You know, it's just one family, and I think, you know, definitely we'll get back to where I need to be.
And I think that injury delayed your international comeback as well. Where are you at with that? What?
Are you looking for a 2-bedroom condo for less than $1 million in Hoboken?
Recovering from injuries it's a difficult process. A lot of people on the outside wouldn't understand when a player is really injured and what they go through, and mentally, and how difficult it can be. It can be challenging, and if you don't have the right people around, it can get really challenging. And I think that's something that we all have to deal with sometimes. But the relationship with me and the coach, Steve McClaren, is good. I feel like I've known him for years, and we haven't met officially in person yet. And yeah, I'm excited to be going back with the national team, and, you know, try to just help as much as possible, and, you know, just be there and enjoy the moment.
Because you are such a proud Jamaican, aren't you? Is that
Definitely.
Kind of a huge part for you?
Very proud Jamaican. I'm a very proud Jamaican. I wear the badge on my chest. I will wave the flag high every time, every situation, every moment I get the opportunity to do so. So yeah, definitely proud Jamaican.
And have you had some reassurances from him that maybe some of the issues you had before, that they'll try to resolve that, make things better for you? Because it was hard, wasn't it, dealing with sort of all the things you've got here going on with your club football, and the huge amount that takes out of you, and then maybe not having the best resources when you went internationally.
Yeah, I mean, it's two different levels, but he's definitely trying to, you know, change a lot there. And, you know, as I said, we've never met in person yet, but I feel like I know this man for years because we speak so much, and he's, you know, giving me all the confidence already.
Well, next up, Bournemouth. They're coming into the game on the back of that result against Arsenal. Obviously, they were down to 10 men, but I'm sure they'll be coming into the game with a lot of confidence, do you think?
Definitely. You know, Bournemouth, as I said, Bournemouth is a very good team. Last season, they've been good, and this season they're even better. And obviously, winning against Arsenal, they will be coming with the full force, trying to get 3 points from us. But we're ready. The coach knows what we need to do to be able to beat them and get the 3 points. So we'll be ready when the moment comes, and, you know, that's the most important thing.
So that was Leon Bailey's interview with Sky. Thoughts on that interview? By the way, I thought he did really well, by the way. Actually, I find it interesting. He doesn't really have an accent, you know. A distinct Jamaican accent. Like, a lot of people grew up in Jamaica. When you reach to, like, if you leave at 15, 16, 17, you still maintain quite a bit of that accent, actually. I know he's been in Europe for a while. But he doesn't have an accent that translates to any given. No, my chair is creaking here. Any given country, but he came across well in the interview, actually. Pull this thing up. He came across well in the interview, I thought, actually. So kudos to him. Good interview. So he loves his country. When he wears it bad, he beats his chest, except when he's doing interview locally. So maybe he shouldn't do any local interviews, because he sounded very professional, sounded very engaged. And by the way, maybe my question has been answered. That's the way Steve McClaren is. Seems like he's on the phone with Bailey all the time. So they talks a lot. So maybe that's where he is. So maybe I have my answer. Steve McClaren is talking to Bailey. But no, good interview, good discussion. As I think he sort of alluded to, obviously things are different at Villa than they are in Jamaica. I don't know where he is, but he's making call, Ricardo. He says he's talked to the coach a lot. But I thought McClaren said when he first came, though, he said he's going to go meet with these players, right? That's what he said. He's going to go meet with these players. Now, when he say go meet with them, I thought it was going to be a physical meeting, meaning I go up to Villa. Villa is up north. I thought he was from up north too, where you can go meet the players and talk to the players. But apparently, it looked like you can go on the phone with them. No, I got him. Yeah, that probably it's kind of hard to reach out the player from Ibiza or whatever it is, or Ibiza, whatever player it is. Yeah, but Nitro, you hear what Bailey said though, right? He said he spoke with the coach a lot, but they haven't really physically met. So McClaren, what happened? The M4 now work. You can't drive on the M4 to meet him. Wherever up north you are. It ain't that far. If you're Birmingham and Villa, it ain't far. It's close enough for you to go see him. I thought McClaren would go talk to Emery, go to the field and talk to him, go watch Bailey play the game. I don't know what McClaren is doing. Seriously. Any man damn yard out upon vacation, call people up and say hello. I don't know how it works, people. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. It is not a good look. Seriously, it's not a good look. What I want to talk about. But no, I thought Bailey did well in the interview. I thought he was very calm, very composed, very articulate. Answered the questions really well. Was very thoughtful when it comes to him, his form, injuries, what he needs to do, how you operate when you're not playing well or you're not in the team. So I thought he did really well on the interview. And I thought he represented the Reggae Boyz and himself and Villa well. Yeah, Villa's in the Midlands, I know. I was born in Wolverhampton. I know where Villa is. Villa is not far from Birmingham, Villa, all them teams are up there. So what was I talking about? Oh, my last subject for the day is about Mason Greenwood. So I was listening. Yeah, Ricardo, he did really well. He did really well. Very, very composed, very articulate. Didn't have any agreement failures. I didn't hear he were or she were. I didn't hear any of those, which I hate, by the way. Mason Greenwood. I have my pet peeves, people. Mason Greenwood. So I was listening to a YouTuber channel the other day, and he was saying that Mason's stuff was 75% complete. And Mason had a rough weekend, by the way. De Berzzi took him off at halftime of the PSG game, lambasted him, basically saying he needs to work harder in the game, even though he has scored, 5 or 6 goals in his season so far in less than 10 games. But chastised him, basically, was not happy with his performance, which sometimes you need some reality check. But this whole thing about Mason Greenwood and his and him and represent Jamaica. So I'll say this. Let me just make sure I'm saying okay. It's my understanding that he wants to represent Jamaica. It's also my understanding that there's some complications involved in terms of trying to get the requisite documentation to substantiate the veracity of him being a descendant of a Jamaican and becoming naturalized citizen. So, yeah, he my understanding he wants to play, but he has to go through that process. And there's no definitive date or time about when it's going to get done. So if anybody telling you differently, I don't think they're telling you the truth, to be honest. We're not putting any 75%, 50%, 40%. It's not 0%. It's not 100%. But until those processes go through what they're supposed to, we don't know. I don't think it's going to be November window. What are we in October? I'll just say one thing, actually. Hey, JFF? No, this is not JFF. The only person I call of the JFF Mr. is Mr. Ricketts. Mr. Ricketts, I think you have to do everything in your powers to get this done if you want to get done. So what do I mean? You got to work with the people who are involved in the process. You may have to go engage in minutes of sports to get involved. I know people all over the world love to engage with officials from countries when it comes to these things. There's a sense of if you're courting somebody, then take out all the stops to get that done, right? So I would suggest, Mr. President, El Presidente, if you like to say, that you work with whatever parties are involved in the process to try to get this done. And I think you've mentioned the Greenwood thing, so I think you want to get it done. But I think if you want to get something done in life, you have to do whatever is necessary to do so. That's all I'll say. And my hope is that the kid become a reggae boy sometime. I don't think it's going to be November, but miracles do happen. But I don't think it's going to happen. But it's my understanding the kid want to play for Jamaica, which is the most important thing. And frankly, it would be good to have him for the Nations League. That would be great, but that may just not happen. In fact, from where I sit now, what are we in? The 14th is the next window. I don't think it's going to happen. But the hope is that it will happen at some point. But I don't think anybody could tell you definitively exactly when. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The whole PNP, JLP thing. Nitro, yeah, you're right about Nitro. I was going to say the people who are voting don't really care because the last election was 30-something% of people voting, so they don't really care. But yes, the people who are involved will be very focused on their constituent and them trying to get re-elected because it look like JP want to be in power for life. How long JP in power for? Another 12 years now? 8 or 12 years. A long time now. A long time JP in power now. That means the PNP not doing something right because incumbents don't win that many unless the country is doing phenomenal. And crime still rampant. Crime still rampant, people. Crime in Jamaica still rampant. So yeah. But let me just say this. Tomorrow, we're going to give away those 2 tickets. I'm going to do it all at once. I'm going to come up with about 10 questions. And you guys can call in to be able to get those tickets. Hopefully, you're in a location where you can go to the game. So don't just take the tickets, win the tickets, and then not go to the game, people. No, waste the ticket them. If you know you can't go to the game, I'll get somebody who got the game. Don't just compete for the tickets. All right? But we want to give the tickets away. There are 2 tickets in section 149. I do have the tickets. And I'll transfer them to anyone going to go to the game. I plan to go to the game. I am not 101% sure, but it's something that's on my agenda to do. So I'll come back and say tomorrow whether I bought my tickets or not. But I also got to find out if I can get media pass because when you get media pass, you get access. I think CONCACAF give those out, not Jamaica. So we'll see how that happens. And then again, if somebody says, Cranky, you may not get a pass because, a little bit, be viewed a little bit controversial. But I hope if I apply, I got to figure out where to apply. Actually, I got to link up with Simon in some way, shape, or form to see if I can get a media pass. Because I would, even though I've never been to St. Louis, and I'm not looking to go to St. Louis, but if my team is playing, I can get there. My only contention with doing that is this. I don't like to drive so much hours going to be driving, long hours, people. To get to some place and the activity I'm going for is like 20% of the time I spend trying to get there. It's less than 20%. If I drive from New York to St. Louis and back or go via Atlanta, I'm gonna spend more than a day on the road and the game is like an hour and a half. So that's tough. But anyway, it's my team and I love my team. So yes, I'll try to get there. Definitely. Nitro said the young teenager, the John Brown Abdul, scored in the English Championship on the weekend. Brilliant header. Yes, and people, and I was contacted this weekend about this and say he was on the list of players. I probably should look it up. I think Nitro did put that up already. He was on the list of players Nitro you put up that got his passport and that wasn't called for the under-20. And he's now playing championship football. So, yeah, we got to stick to our, we have to stick to our quota. Even though I was told over the weekend that there's limited, if no, quota in the under-20, but I doubt that. There's always a quota. Rudolph did say the senior team doesn't have a quota, but everybody else have a quota. So we'll see how that works. But anyway, let me just say this. I'm going to close the program down. First, I appreciate you being here. Second of all, we'll be back tomorrow. I have no idea what the topics are going to be, but I'm going to try to bring up another. Let me guys know if you like the comedy session because Patricio O'Neill has more jokes than that. He's my favorite comedian. I'm going to clip more and probably bring them here. So let me know if you like that. It wasn't the clearest. I'm going to get one that's more clear, actually. But he's funny as you know what. And died way too young. Died in his 40s, way too young. But let me know if you like that interval break in the sports talk of Patrice giving his view on certain topics. I won't go into that because since Claudine is beating me for doing this. And Claudine, but that whole thing, Claudine goes both ways. You could just flip the story and make it more from a feminine standpoint versus from a male standpoint. All right. But Tiger says it's sad for Ian for a young brother. I heard the game. Messi cried for him to get. injuries are part of the game, unfortunately. Injuries are part of the game and not the best thing for a lot of people, for a lot of kids. I mean, you think about the worst case I've seen in injuries, like Diaby, used to play for Arsenal. Brilliant footballer, French footballer, got his leg broken and he never recovered. So let's hope Ian get over his injuries woes and can play well and can get the Jamaica team. Because I've heard quite a bit about him. I haven't really watched him play because I will admit I don't really watch MLS, but maybe I'll try to. And I do have subscription to Apple actually, so I should be able to get those game free. So let's see. I'm gonna look into it. All right, people. Thanks for being here. I am glad you could be here. I appreciate you being here. Have a good evening. Remember, tomorrow we're gonna give away the tickets. 2 tickets to the game. Hopefully, people can make the game. Hey, Claudine, you go to the game. You can drive from Florida. No, Claudia, you can drive from Florida to St. Louis. So you can fly up. Most people are flying. I probably will be driving. Thanks for being here, people. I appreciate being here. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. And if you haven't shared the video, even just for the Patrice O'Neal joke, please do so. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful night. See you when I see you. Good night. Frankie Life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk and it's free, yo. Frankie Life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Frankie Life, tell them. Frankie Life, heed them. Frankie Life, want them. Cranky Life. From the courts to the field, we'll never lose because Cranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Cranky Life, tell them. Cranky Life, heed them. Cranky Life, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life, where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Cranky Life, get to know the name because Cranky analysis is never lame. Cranky Life, give me my Cranky Life. I want my Cranky Life. Must have my Cranky Life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know Cranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and defeat and subscribe and don't miss a beat of Cranky Life. Tell them, Cranky Life. Heed them, Cranky Life. Want them, Cranky Life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Cranky Life. Tune into Cranky Life. Like up Cranky Life. Subscribe to Cranky Life. Cranky Life coming to you on weekdays. Cranky Life sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Cranky will always bring the heat. Cranky Life. Me say fi tell them Cranky Life. Me say fi heed them Cranky Life. On them Cranky Life. Cranky Life will be around. Cranky Life is the best in town. Me say fi heed them. Me say fi want them. Me say fi heed them. Want them, heed them, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed them, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life. Cranky. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them. Heed, want, heed them.